LPT. If you're a cashier at any big grocery store, whenever a customer doesn't have a rewards card swipe your personal card as a cashier, you'll get a shit ton of rewards points. Do it once or twice a week on the biggest orders you get to get the maximum benefits while drawing less attention to it. 300 IQ. Has been caught before. No such thing as a foolproof illegal way to make money. Everyone would do it otherwise. I did this while working in one of the big 4 supermarkets, UK, when I was 17. Carried on for months and had even memorized the long card number so I could pretend that the customer's card hadn't swiped properly and input my own card number rather than theirs. Was enjoying using the vouchers to put free petrol in my car. Long story short, while I wasn't home one day, my father took a phone call from one of the supermarket's big kahunas saying that I was one of their best customers and they wanted to invite me into the store. When I got home he told me that he didn't know exactly what I was up to and didn't want to know, but to go out again and lose that card somewhere that it couldn't be found. I stopped immediately. Unfortunately never heard anything about it after, but I did the maths, and at one point I was getting around 90 per month in vouchers. Not much maybe, but it'd have to legitimately received that it'd have to have spent around 9,000 in the shop in 1 month. This is probably one for r/illegal FEPRA tips. You might as well just say Tesco as I'm pretty sure none of the other 3 or 4 work that way. P. Morrison's More Card and Sainsbury's Nectar. 90 per month in vouchers. I'd have to have spent around 9,000 in the shop. Nope. Morrison's doesn't work that way, and Nectar would be half that value. They got 0.01 per 1 spent, which means it's Tesco. Well, what do we do now? About a year ago I also had this good idea, but they caught wind quickly and I ended up losing my job after having to speak with loss prevention about it. They did in the end consider it theft. As a dumb 20-year-old, I did this. I was working at Staples. I didn't want the rewards. In fact, the thought never crossed my mind. I did want, however, to meet the percentage mark and soothe cranky customers. Management wanted their cashiers to have a certain percentage of their in-outs to have a rewards card. Ever the people pleaser, I would ask the customer if they had a rewards card, and if they didn't have one, if they wanted to open one. Most of the time I was met with annoyed, frustrated customers that would say just use the store card. The store card isn't a thing. So I kept a rewards card at my station to make the customers happy and management happy. Management was not happy. A month in, I got pulled into the back office with loss prevention. The only reason I got to keep my job was because I was sincerely confused about concept of even collecting rewards, and they were able to confirm that no rewards were collected. They promoted me to the cash office about 2 weeks later. I ended up quitting Staples after I got a job at a bakery. On an unrelated note, most people are rude cunts that need to be nicer to folks that work in the retail and service industries. I totally agree with what you're saying about being a people pleaser and how there are so many rude people at stores. The store that I worked at was the largest storefront for Kings in the US, and we would get ridiculous lines on weekends, so everyone was super stressed all the time. I remember when I was a new cashier, sometimes I would miss people's coupons because they just set them on the counter and I didn't see them, and they didn't tell me they had coupons. This one time a lady got so mad at me because of this, and she was holding up the line to complain. All she had to do was take the receipt to customer service for a refund, but she had to berate me in front of everyone when I was clearly doing my best to make it right. Deleted. Might be time to invest in a coffee maker and health insurance. I used to work as a cashier at a supermarket, and you could use any generic number as long as it started with a certain number sequence. I forget that sequence now. So what it'd do is use that number sequence and then 12,345,678 every time. That number would build points, and whenever it earned something it'd grab the receipt paper and put it to the side. That supermarket didn't have any gas stations or anything like that, so it was usually just a ham/turkey around Thanksgiving. Christmas, and Easter. I don't think this is even unethical imo. I've had cashiers do this for me when I forget my keychain or take my BF's car or something, and I'm always thankful they do. I'm happy with the sale price. The cashier is happy with the rewards. The store is happy to get my money, and I doubt they sell any of this at a loss. I see no issue here. Yeah, I've had cashiers swipe their own card for me loads of times. I can't even imagine the kind of person who would be mad about it as a customer. And fuck the grocery corp mayo. When you sign up for a rewards card, put down your phone number as / local area code 8,675,309. Lots of people use that number generically. I forgot where I read it, but the article had said that if you're ever in a store where you don't have a rewards card for, try using that number. Chances are very good that someone will have a card with that number tied to it. Okay. But why? You're giving some random card rewards points, which is a nice gesture, but you're not getting anything out of it yourself. Just the lucky person who has the generic number. Many stores give the advertised sale prices. If you're a member, you get the discount immediately if they can look you up. You don't need to wait for points. Most places will fire you for that. Yep, stuff like that might have flown in the 90s, but it is almost certainly tracked today. Same with letting others use your employee discount. I guarantee if it isn't a tiny mom and pop shop, that you aren't the first to try to game the system, and they are watching for every new smart employee to try the same. I worked at a Blockbuster Video in the 90s and had a manager go on maternity leave for a year. Her fill-in was very pro free movie. We had the free movie barcode taped to the side of our till. Get a complaint, free movie, missing a title, free movie, etc. This transferred into cute kid, free movie, this guy's a regular sorter, free movie, all your friends, free emu OVEs. So many free movies. When the real manager came back and tallied it all up, we'd given away over $30. 000 and $5. 64 transactions over the course a year off. The whole store was fired. Rightfully so, lol. The Taco Bell in my hometown was basically operated by my friends. They gave so much free food that the place shut down and was never reopened. Single-handedly shutting down a restaurant by stealing all their food would be my proudest accomplishment too. This is a big no-no and can get you in a ton of trouble. I was doing this in hospitality for a few of my regular guests that didn't care and never wanted to sign up for awards. Corporate tracked it and reported to my property. Luckily we were a pretty easygoing property under a franchise, so nothing was done after the forfeiture of my points. If I had worked for a corporate owned property I could have been sued. It's happened before. At both retail places I've worked at, you aren't allowed to have / use your personal rewards card and be an employee. I would assume the idea is to set up an account under a false name. Should still be able to use it to get discounts when shopping. Makes sense if you work in a huge place or maybe go to a different store to redeem the points, but my stores were both small enough to remember me by face. Even in a bigger store with a couple hundred employees they can generally remember everyone's face. I mean, you do see these people almost daily. Right. But I was thinking it was more along the lines of a big chain store, like a Sam's Club or Hilton Hotels or a places like that. Gas station chains too. Thinking that way it would be more doable than working at a local mom and pop store, then coming in on your days off and using a card with a fake name on it. So I did this with the okay from my manager. I told her we should do it and donate the points to our local food bank. I was contacted by the company legal team to cease and desist because I was technically embezzling money from the company. So, beware. Sounds like corporate wanted to hang you out to dry, but realized they couldn't without causing a huge PR nightmare, the kind you'd see on the 6 o'clock news that costs customers. If the legal team classified it as embezzlement after your manager's approval, then they aren't very good at civil law. First off, the points themselves have no real monetary value, or rather, a variable one which changes, depends on what you get with the points. Good luck arguing that in court, unless it's a substantial amount on the low end of point per dollar value. Second, boss approved it, which makes it completely legal. Even if corporate knew and didn't approve, the cease and desist was a waste of time and money. This was a matter for hours to take up with your boss. /r/bad legalavis. Loss prevention would like to have a word with you. Yeah, well, when LP is robbing the company blind under their nose while undergoing chapter 11. It's kinda like abandon all hope ye who enter here. Deleted. Not much to tell. They just avoided the cameras cause they had access to the room that had all the monitors. Just curious if we are talking about the same company. I used to work at a small bougie grocery chain. We had a special store card we had to use for people without a rewards card. We had training videos that specifically told us we weren't allowed to use our own rewards cards or we'd be fired. Makes me wonder if the store card is attached to the phone number, and if I can use that number at gas pumps for gas rewards. I'm going to try it. Corporations aren't stupid lol. I've been in a whole lot of offices with usernames and passwords written on sticky notes left openly on display. Corporations are made of people. People are stupid and flawed. More than one cashier got fired for this when I worked at an office supply store. Even if you change it out every month, multiple rewards transactions per day on the same employee register login is an immediate red flag in the computer. The whole point of rewards cards is tracking, and they're very good at it. Your misplaced comma in the title makes me irrationally irritated. I can't believe I had to scroll so far to find this comment. I did this as a cashier when I was broke and paying all my money into rent. This particular store offers you deals customized to you for bonus points. One time, I had a deal for $5 worth of points for every $10 you spent on beef, ground beef, store-made burgers, ribs and steaks, that kind of stuff. Cue this guy who came in and checked out with $250 in beef. He had a shitload of condiments, buns, and accompanying party stuff, so I guess a party. Anyways, I go to cash him out, and he didn't have a points card. I asked if he minded if I used mine. It'd show up on the receipt and I didn't want him to not know with that kind of pointage. And he said go for it. $125 in points. Jesus. What some people miss out on. I could usually rack up $20 a shift though. It really helped. This is the way I did it when I worked the cash register. The hypermarket I worked in required customers to have a store card, wink wink. So we carry one ourselves to swipe for whoever didn't have one. Though usually we ask the customer next in line if they are willing to swipe their card for more PTS first before using our own cards. Used to investigate points card fraud at a large chain supermarket. I could click about 4 buttons and run a report that would show me if the same card had been run more than once in a single day. After I ruled out the regular customers, I could see that one card was swiped 42 times a day for the last 3/4 days. I could then see that one employee number was on every transaction. Then I would pull up the camera footage, and next thing you know they're being arrested. Don't do this, it's easy as hell to catch. Lol, I can't believe it was somebody's job to do this. At my store it was standard practice to have an unregistered card that you could scan for this purpose. We actually had a whole stack of cards and I think we were technically supposed to throw away the card each time we used one, but it was so wasteful that nobody actually did that, and the store never really questioned it. I remember my manager telling me once that we were supposed to throw away the used cards. But seriously, it's such a waste that nobody did that. Well, it depends. Some stores do have a store card that can be scanned to give the discounts, but does not accumulate points itself. It's situations where, let's say, you have your own rewards card that gives you cents off of gas or could be redeemed for discounts within the store, and you take that card and scan it over and over. That's where it becomes a problem. I also did this amongst many other things. My primary job was to apprehend shoplifters. Investigating employee theft was just a part of my job. I got fired for this at CVS. So definitely r/Allegla Fepratips. Someone got fired for this when I worked retail. They couldn't prove that they weren't denying customers their points to put their own card through. It's a bad idea. I work at Kohl's and we have a rewards card. Most seasonal people get fired for doing this. Deleted. Christ, that's genius, assuming you were responsible with paying it off. Good idea. I know of a CVS manager who got fired for this. Was it you/Boslayer? Link. reddit.com/r/comment/9sky2/alt_if_your_any_cashier_big_store/ebstate. When shopping a Fredmere, at checkout I'm often asked rewards card. I say nope, and nearly every time the cashier will quickly key something in, at which point I can see a discount applied on the screen. I don't shop at Fredmere enough to know what is happening here. Anyone? Are they doing something like this Alpt? Most likely they are just plugging in a store card that they use to give the discounts when someone doesn't have a card. Most stores allow something like this. It's possible that they're putting in their own card, but I would suspect that most of the time it's a store card. The thought crossed my mind. I wonder what they could possibly gain from this. Why would I want to sign up for a rewards card if they do this anyway? Gas station access aside, my grocery store prints out targeted coupons along with the receipt. They target the products you are likely to want by the data from your card. Also, I can log onto the store's website or app and load coupons onto my card instead of clipping them from a flyer. And in the month leading up to each Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter, you can rack up points towards your choice of a free turkey, ham, lasagna, or tofurkey. ShopRite. I worked as a cashier in a supermarket, and they had their system set up so that if you scanned a single card more than X times per day, 10 maybe, it would zero out your rewards. Specifically done to prevent this. No is an immediate termination at my company. No first warning. Immediate termination. This is small fry. I know people who treat myself and others to business lunches, pay using a personal card for air miles, and then claim the meal back as it was under their allowance, where not having a corporate card is beneficial. And get fired. Worked big box retail. Don't do this. You will be fired immediately. People did this at my old chain restaurant job. Close out cash checks, and when people leave the receipt on the table as garbage, take the code to add the balance to a rewards account. People had hundreds upon hundreds of dollars in rewards for free food that could later be redeemed into another account unrelated to their name. They'd use said discounts on cash checks to discount an entree. A $40 check with no tip now became a $25 check with a $15 cash tip. Never had the balls to do it personally though. Hot damn. At my company, if the card is used several times a week it flags on an LP report to check out. I fired a few people for doing this as rewards dollars end up being basically cash theft. Take it a step further like the people at the bubble tea place near me and refuse to scan people's rewards cards and just scan your own. Hey, thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe.